Now, you're still going to get a lot of people will read that and go, well, yeah, he's just going to try and pitch me on something, right? That's why save it to the end. Is to, you might think this offer is strange. In other words, you might be skeptical, but here's why I'm doing it. Right? It's done in that way for a reason. It's like when that was done as a broadcast fax, it had no headline.
Right.
Because as I said last week, you've got to get past the gatekeeper. And as a broadcast fax, the gatekeeper, whether it's the junior clerk, the office manager, whatever, the boss's assistant, gets clear instructions. If you get a fax and you think someone's trying to sell me something, I don't want to see it, throw it in the bin. Right? If you're not anything else or you're not sure of, give it to me. That's why the actual broadcast fax didn't have a headline, and it was written that way. Hey, if I was a copywriter, bang, bang, bang. Right? Now I've gone through your letter. So the points they're making are valid in general in copy, but not in the circumstances.
Okay.
Especially when you're trying to cold prospect somebody, right? Who ultimately thinks, yeah, well, he's trying to sell me something anyway. The response rates on a letter like that can be very, very low, but they're more serious.
Okay.
Right? You get a higher quality lead. Less, in other words, if that letter, and you saw in my swipe file, there's a different variation of sending out the free report, right? Same letter, except different offer.
Right.
When I would test that, I would get more responses for the free report, of course, right? And then I would go on a 3-step direct mail sequence.
Okay.
But I did probably 90% of the, hey, let's talk. Right. And I would average, 0.5 to 0.8% roughly, depending on any given week, would respond. Okay.
Okay.
Enough to generate a lot of business out of. Right. So, yeah, don't mess with the formula too much.